My name is Alejo. I am a filmmaker from Guatemala. I've been working in film for maybe 13 years now, and I've directed my first feature film called Faith, that was released last November. Since we started with the script and then getting the financing for the film and then finally getting to shoot it and finish it and show it, it's been a trip of 4 years, and it's been, I would say, ironically, the 4 years with less faith in my life.
Me dijo, Arturo, son solo hombres.
It talks about how I see life, how I see faith, and where I find my faith. I'm not a religious man, even though I grew up in a very religious environment. I got in a way separated from the church in the building, talking about a church. So I don't find my faith in a priest. I don't find my faith in a building. I find it somewhere else, and I wanted to talk about this also in the film, and how the characters are gonna learn through this story about this. There's several inspirations for the film, or things that I wanted to talk about. Definitely the faith is one of them. Is how you put, how you want to pursue something, a dream or whatever you want to do in life, and how the only thing that drives you through it is the faith on it. No, if you lose the faith on the way, you lose your path. No, I also wanted to talk about the violence in Guatemala, the situation of the violence in Guatemala, and what is happening now, and how there is very little hope on the situation in Guatemala in general. All the films in the festival are very recent films, so you can so many films you can see actually the situation of Latin America right now while just coming to this festival, no? And in another way, I think it's a great place for Latin American filmmakers also to get together, to get to know each other, and have some sort of dialogue between us also, no? I've heard of most of the films that are in this festival, but I haven't been able to see them because they don't come to Guatemala. So even though we live in Latin America, we don't get Latin American films. So I'm actually gonna be able to see a lot of more here than what I could see back home. I've got, I guess, several interests in life. Film is definitely one of the biggest ones. I've been something kind of new that I've been doing. I have a radio program that talks about Latin American culture. I'm very into try to understand our region as a region and not as little countries inside this region. So I'm trying to get to know more people in Latin America that are into art, are into culture, and in different. I'm talking about dancers, photographers, or singers, or filmmakers also, no? And I'm kind of interested in that right now, in how we use art to communicate about us, and how we not only try to show us to the world, but how we can learn about ourselves also in art.